welcome back to the Ludiverse. I'm Jay, your host, and my co-host
Hi, it's Courtney again.
is back. Hooray! And
Yay!
and we have our guest with us. Would you like to tell anybody anything about yourself?
I don't know. What should I tell them? Well, my name's Shannon. I'm a 28-year-old female, and I am a kinky bitch. Anything else?
Well, I mean, that's enough to get you through the door.
Definitely.
So we started talking about being on the show when you mentioned you had a cum fetish. And I've heard of it before, but I've never really heard anything about what it is about. So would you care to explain what that is?
Well, for me, it's like not necessarily the substance cum, but like physically watching a man come or like bring himself to orgasm. I do enjoy the substance as well. It's not like exclusively like being a voyeur, you know? Like, I like making a man come, watching a man come. Don't get me wrong, females too. Like, it's a little harder to, visibly see that unless they're like squirters. But, that's fine too. How I describe it when I'm telling people what it means is like, well, I like swallowing, I like cream pies, I'll lick it up. If you want to come in my panties and make me wear them all day, that's hot as fuck. Like,
hell yeah.
It's just one of those things. Like, okay. And even I'm a switch, so like even when I'm in a more dominant role, if a guy wants to come for me, I'll tell him to taste it or, play with it or, whatever, So that's kind of how I would describe it when somebody asks me, what's that about?
Well, okay, that's a pretty good explanation.
Oh yeah.
So are you into like the jack off instructional videos?
Not so much. I mean, for me, everybody knows how to please themselves the best, I would think. I would hope. Because that's a self-exploration type of thing. So I don't really, instruct people so much as I really just enjoy watching.
Or you could just instruct them on how to make you come. I mean, there's that.
That is true. That I have done. But
I've done that too.
That's not so much JOI, though. So I definitely do give, pointers, though. Like, if a guy's going down on me, I'm like, all right, you want to make me squirt? Here's what you got to do.
Right?
Well, yeah, if a guy is going to be going down there, he has to be willing to take instruction.
Exactly. And again, You should know your body the best because it's your body. I'm a huge fan of masturbation. Like, you get to know yourself the best. Then you can tell anybody else how to please you.
Yeah, I usually use experienced men for that. I'm just like, because when I first started out with all this, with all of my kinks and stuff, there were different guys that I would have sex with, and they would show me different stuff about my body that I never even thought of. I was like, okay, oh shit, all right, so that's how you do that. Got it.
And that's true, to a certain extent for me. But even then, if they point something out, I'll explore it by myself later to see if it holds true when I'm alone. So it's like, I'm sorry, continue your point, though.
Oh, no, that was pretty much it. I mean, other than the fact that, I tried making myself squirt on my own before, but it didn't work very well. Like, the closest that I got was when I used a hairbrush one time.
Interesting.
I was on deployment at the time.
Listen, I'm no judgments. I've been there.
Oh yeah, this is definitely a safe space. No judgments here.
But yeah, I have a whole collection of toys and everything. I enjoy solo play. Like, don't get me wrong, but it's always better with a partner.
Exactly.
Any other questions?
Well, you and Courtney both have expressed an interest in the daddy dom little girl life. So maybe y'all could discuss a little bit about that. What you know, what you don't know. And since I don't know anything about it, I can learn from both of you.
Sounds good to
So,
me.
yeah. What do you like about it? Or like, what don't you like about it? We'll start with the
I
dislikes.
uh, you mean what I dislike about it?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a lot shorter list.
See, that's how I figure it's best to start with what you don't enjoy.
Right?
We'll work into the fun
Um,
stuff.
so what I don't enjoy about it so far is like diapers. I can't get around that factor. Like I can't do that.
See, there are certain things like sometimes age plays okay, but like I can't get super into it. Like I don't do sippy cups, I don't do binkies. I just want to call you daddy if you treat me right.
Oh no, I enjoy binkies. I enjoy like the sippy cup factor, stuff like that. And I also enjoy doing the little kid things because the way my daddy Don described it was I was robbed of being a child, being a toddler, so that's why I gravitate toward it so much. So he therefore helps me relive in a safe and better environment. So that way I can be a child, and also when I do feel the urge of a woman, we can do that too.
That's actually a really good like explanation. Um See, I enjoy playing dress up, coloring, doing little kid stuff, but at the same time like I am an adult, and I still have those urges and like you said, it's more about safety and feeling protected and understood than
Exactly.
like being super sexually, into like being a kid or whatever. No, it's not that. It's like you feel like something's missing and you want to feel safe and protected. And that's kind of what I get out of DDLG. And like you can, depending on your Dom, they might have like a set schedule for you if you are like a live-in. You may have an enforced bedtime, meal times, bath times, etc. It's just it also depends on how far you and your Dom are willing to go or how comfortable you are with it. I don't know. There's a lot of different aspects to it. There's a lot of different ways it can be expressed.
Exactly. I definitely agree because, like you said, most people don't really care for the whole age play thing, and that's what I was explaining in one of our other, I think it was our first episode, where I was explaining how it doesn't necessarily have to do with age play because there's the acting like a kid, acting like a toddler portion, and then there's the okay, well, we're both horny, so let's adults up for a second and take care of that.
Exactly. Yeah, I guess that's how I see it. It's not an age play thing. It's not like you want to have sex with little kids. And sorry, I'm but it's being able to express yourself safely with somebody that understands.
Precisely.
Well, I imagine, now correct me if I'm wrong, because this is just from an outside observer's point of view. But there's some people have an innate desire, like an instinct to just take care of somebody. And not everybody's cut out to be an actual parent. So the whole age play thing kind of fills that role. They can take care of somebody like a child without having to actually have the full responsibilities of having a child.
See how that could be an option, like an opinion on it.
Yeah, I've never actually thought that far into it, but hearing that explanation kind of like, you know what, that kind of makes sense. Like it clicked for me. Like, yeah, I can see it.
Mm-hmm.
Well, like I said, it's just outside perspective, which when you get too involved in something, sometimes you kind of stop being able to see it because you're too close. So sometimes the outside perspective helps.
Yeah, it really does. Any more questions, Jay?
I've never actually been like super interested in it, but recently with the exposure that I've been getting to the kink and fetish lifestyles through the podcast, through some of the groups that I'm in on Facebook, chat groups and such, and talking to people that I know, I've been seeing it in a different way. Like a lot of people, they think of age play and it's all girls calling their male partner daddy, but then when it goes the other way and you've got like the woman wants to be the
Mommy Dom.
yeah, it seems to be a little more obscure or a little more rare, I guess. You don't hear as much about somebody wanting their male partner to call them mommy. Is that like is there some reason why you think that that's a little less accepted or public?
I think because, well, the world's a lot more open about a lot of stuff now than it used to be. So, like, how it was so common to see, like, older men with younger women, like, oh, that's normal. But seeing an older woman with a younger man was like, oh! And now everybody's super into cougars and MILFs, and, like, it's fine. So I feel like the world's a lot more open about it now. Like, I know a lot of women who either switch or just want to be dominant, and not necessarily mommy dom roles, but some of them are super comfortable being a mommy dom. I've had guys come up to me and be like, is it okay if I call you mommy? And I'm like, I'm not into it, but if it makes you comfortable, that's fine.
Oh, I don't know how I'd feel with that. I guess because it kind of goes back to my mindset of kind of like the 1950s type rule. So I just, for me, I don't dom. And also, I don't, especially not a man. Like, I'll dom a woman, but I won't dom a man. Because I feel like a man is supposed to be, like, powerful. They're supposed to be, like, where's the pants
Strong,
in the family?
protective.
Yeah, exactly. Like, so for me, it wouldn't really work out. But for some people, yeah, sure. I mean, more power to you.
See, I was going to say, like, it's about switching up gender roles, but it's not really about switching gender roles at all. It's just comfort. It's how,
Mm-hmm.
I mean, the same for, like, DDLG with MD, what, LB? It's about expression. You want to relive something you missed. You want to have that safe space to express yourself. And I mean,
Oh, yeah.
I'm not saying it's the exact same because obviously there are differences, but it's about comfort and expression and wanting to feel accepted and protected and safe.
Yeah. Like I said, I can definitely see people how people would do it. It's just I'm just not that way.
I've
Because I
done
can
it.
definitely see it like I can definitely see it on the other side. Like, of course, there's probably going to be a male version of me out there that just wants to be protected and cared for and, So it makes sense.
Well, I'm also a switch, so I can take on either role, but I found that it's a little harder for me to find someone who's willing to just go full on domination. It's just, I don't know. I think that the whole thought of being the stronger member of the partnership just doesn't seem to mesh well in a lot of females' minds. I mean, I could be wrong. I'm probably wrong.
Are you talking about like a woman doming you?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. I'm sure that there's plenty of women that are out there
Oh yeah.
that will be willing to dom you.
I mean, it's like all I can really speak on is my own personal experiences. I can't say, you know, the number of women who are willing to be dominate one in a relationship is way too low across the nation. I don't know that. All I know is what's going on in my own personal life.
I
Yeah.
mean, if you want me to introduce you to some people, just saying. But I used like I said, I'm a switch. I used to be like an online dom, I guess, and I put that in air quotes because I'm not really sure how you would describe it. But like, I would do role play sessions with guys who just wanted to submit to me. I'm like, okay, fine, that's fine. And uh, again, I'm not saying it's like a in personal life or in face to face, your real life, the same situations, but like they're definitely out there people that are women that are into being dominant. Um, you have no idea how many women I've I've met that are like, oh, I love. But yeah, I see the benefits in both sides, so it's not like I don't want to exclusively be like dominant or exclusively be submissive because it's really fun to switch.
I mean, I've switched for my husband before, and he seemed to like it. It's just it wasn't as exciting to me as being a sub. So I was just like, yeah, I'll do this one night for you. Sure, fuck it. Like, give me a few drinks, and I'll be sure to dom you out. Go ahead.
It also depends on the kind of dominant you're looking for. There are softer doms. There are like strong, really strict doms. There's a lot of variation. So
yeah.
much variation.
I'm the drunk dom. Like I have to be drunk in order to dom a man. To be honest.
And what's your go-to drink?
My go-to drink is Crown Royal or
Yes,
moonshine.
bitch! Yes!
I have a bottle of Crown Royal downstairs on top of my refrigerator.
I have a bottle of Crown next to me. Like, oh.
I wish I had a bottle of Crown next to me, but sadly, not allowed to have it on the boat.
I mean, I'd pass it to you, but you know.
So, you had some more kinks on the list you gave me, but I don't know how many of them you actually feel like you want to go into. But one that caught my interest was the public play. That's one that I'm kind of getting into a little bit. I had a couple experiences, being out where you could be seen, and it's a bit of a thrill. So, I mean, what is it like for you?
I mean, it's definitely exciting. It's like the risk of being caught, but you're already so into it. Like you're just like, I need it right now. And then there's always that possibility, we could get caught, we could get in trouble for this. That one started when I was in high school, and I literally had to sneak around. So, so it was like, oh, okay, well, let's just go fuck in the woods or something. So, I mean, there's like a little park down the street from me, and we used to go there. Anyway. But yeah, I guess that's where it stems from. Just like, for me at least, it was like having to sneak around anyway. So just like being sneaky is still kind of a turn on because it feels like I'm getting away with something I shouldn't be doing.
So you're like into like roadhead and stuff like that?
Oh yeah. Okay, a lot of my fetishes interlock. So like oral, hey. Being in public, hey.
Right?
And you can add your cum fetish to that if you do it long enough.
Exactly.
Yeah, the more you think about it, the smaller the fetish world gets.
Oh yeah.
I mean, like I said, there's a lot of different like types, but a lot of the same stuff goes into each one. So it's like you might want to be tied up and forced to come. Okay. Satisfies at least one of my needs. Go ahead. Let's do it.
Right.
So it's
Yeah, and some people have kinks that they don't even know about. Like they don't even know that that's an actual kink. Like
Can confirm.
that's what shocks me though, is like the fact that there's so many people out there with so many different kinks that they don't even know that it's a kink that they have. It's not just, oh, well, that's just something I like to do. And it's like, yeah, there's a word for it.
there's a kink for that.
Right?
Like, okay, so what you're saying is you're an undercover fetishist? Got you.
Exactly.
Like, so many people pass themselves off as, like, vanilla, but secretly we all know you want to do some dirty shit. So, just be real about it.
Yeah, see, I look at people that claim, oh no, I'm just a vanilla person. My sexual interests are vanilla. It's like vanilla bean ice cream. You know, it's all white, but you got those little flecks of black in there.
But, on the other hand, and I will say this now, is because I always think that my list is fairly vanilla, because a lot of the same things are super common. Like, nowadays, people are a lot more open, like oral, anal. Those are normal, commonplace things.
Mm-hmm.
Like, that's foreplay.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Like, so it's not like, oh, I'm super kinky because I like butt stuff. Like, anybody who's been drunk on a Tuesday has tried to stick a finger up their ass, okay? You don't, like... like, so you can't really say, like, oh, it's a super big fetish, but... And then somebody come along and be like, oh, so that's your kink. Like, no, I mean, I like it, but only occasionally, every once in a while. Yeah. So I could see both sides of that coin too, being like, oh, it's okay, so you like butt stuff, that's a kink. Like, nah, I'm a vanilla. But even having like vaginal sex would count as a kink if you, like, oh, I don't know, cream pie her. Like, that's how you get babies. It's part of literally procreation. But oh, it's a kink. There's a kink for that. Like,
That's very true.
so I guess you can be completely vanilla and still have kinks. You know, it's not like they're not exclusive.
Well, there are things now that are considered kinks that long time ago were just pretty commonplace. Like group sex is now you're a kinky person with a fetish lifestyle because you have sex with more than one person. But long time ago, before monogamy was commonplace, it used to be these like this woman finds desirable traits that she wants to pass on to her offspring with these four men, so she's going to have sex with all of them. And then these other women also like those traits, so they're going to have sex with her too. So it was just like sex was just kind of a thing. Everyone did it with everyone else, and nobody judged anybody because it was a matter of procreating the species. And then the law of the land started mixing with the churches, and they were like, no, procreation is only only one man, one woman. You can only do it this way, or you're immoral and wrong. And then it went underground, and it became a kink or a fetish because it was taboo.
And that's where I think the line was drawn, is because the churches started to want to control people and wanted to like, ooh, that's a sin. Ooh, you're gonna go hell. Ooh, devil's watching you. like sure, devil's watching, but I'm still have fun.
Yep.
Devil's
Exactly.
watching because he has a voyeurism fetish.
Probably. I saw a meme that was something like, premarital sex is a threesome with the devil. And I was like, well, let him be more active then, like suck a titty or something.
Yes, completely agree with that post.
Come on, Satan, can I get a reach around?
God damn.
Right?
Lick a nipple. Get your girl a hickey. Come on.
Right? Like, use them fangs, man.
I want to hear them clippity clops, alright?
The devil's a furry.
I explained a few things.
I'm a furry and I'm not quite the devil.
Hey, I am the devil, so...
I'm a fucking angel. I don't know what y'all are talking about.
No, I can't really say that
Lucifer was an angel at one point.
Yeah,
Listen.
I can't really say that I'm completely the devil, but I'm definitely a demon.
So, Courtney, did it hurt
when
you climbed through the Earth's crust from hell?
Not at all. I love the scratching on my back. That earth teeth.
Yeah, well, see, like I said before we got started, this is going to be fun.
Oh, yeah.
And if you can't have fun when you're talking about sex, then why even talk about the sex?
Right?
The sex is that bad, you're doing it wrong.
Yeah. And if you can't laugh with the person you're having sex with, you're having sex with the wrong person.
Exactly. Again, about being comfortable, understood, protected. It's a real theme.
Yep. Goes back to that lovely communication is key.
Uh-huh. So many times, so many relationships have been destroyed by lack of communication. Or communication with the wrong person.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, there it is. Communication, once again.
Yep, it's always brought up because why? 'Tis important.
Yeah, even in a vanilla relationship, you have to have communication. And if you're going to add things into it that, are a little less than vanilla, the communication has to be there too, because you have to make sure that everyone's okay with everything that's going on.
Mm-hmm. And also another very popular alert. No means no, people. No means no.
Very true.
No absolutely means no. And respect safe words.
Yes.
Oh, God. That shouldn't even be like a question. Like,
right?
We shouldn't have to remind you of that. Like, somebody uses their safe word and you keep going, it qualifies as rape.
Yep. And
I actually saw a shirt that said safe words are for pussies. And it kind of enraged me a little bit.
There are people who actually believe, like, once she says yes, I am good to go. And I'm like, dude, she can say no at any point and you need to stop. Clearly,
Yep.
you have crossed a line, and she is no longer comfortable. You need to stop. And if you don't have the self-control to stop yourself, you need to have somebody around to physically stop you. There you go. Threesomes.
Yep.
Very in.
Yes. Agreed.
Threesomes, foursomes, polyamory.
That's true. That's another thing. I've seen a lot more people. I don't know if it would be like come out as polyamorous, but that's been like a lot more popular lately. Like not necessarily like being popular or being polyamorous is like a new fad or anything, but like I've just seen a lot of it lately.
Well, in the way the world works now, it makes sense to be polyamorous because if you have children, it's good to have more people that can take care of the children. Because if you have a single two-parent family, and both parents have to work, then they have to pay for childcare. Unless they happen to be on alternating schedules, and then they have no time for each other. But if you have a polyamorous relationship and you have even one more person in there, then that means one more person around to help take care of the kids, one more person to help take care of the house, and nobody's, you don't have to worry about anybody being completely left without any kind of attention because, everyone's always gone or tired. And it makes sense with the way the world is going these days.
I feel like you just described a live-in babysitter who occasionally has sex with the parents.
Well, yeah, but
I'm sorry.
but yeah,
polyamory
but the third...
is less about children, I promise.
Oh, I
mean,
know.
yes,
I'm just
children
saying.
are the future and they need to be protected, but like...
Yeah, but that was only one aspect, because you have two people, they don't have kids, they're not ready to have kids, but they don't have enough time with work because they have to work two jobs because everything's so expensive and minimum wage is ridiculous. And so they have to work two jobs. They never see each other to be able to afford a single house. They have another person that they can add to the relationship. Then they
keep
can
them company when they're alone.
Right. You got with three people living in a household, the finances are a little easier to manage, and what time there is that's not being spent working that second job, everybody has a chance to, have somebody to connect with, regardless of what everyone else's work schedule is. There's going to be more chances for two people or more to all be in the same house at the same time.
Mm-hmm. And what really interests me about polygamy is the fact that I'm deployed or on a mission all the time. And where is my husband? At home, alone, in his own depressed mind, thinking, oh my God, there's nobody here. All I have is my son. I want an adult to talk to. And it makes me really sad because he's just really lonely. So that's why I would like to get into it. So that way he will have somebody there to comfort him when I'm not there.
See, I think it really depends on the people, because obviously you have to have a connection with the people. In question. I don't have a significant other, so I can't really say like me and my significant other, are looking for somebody else. But like, one of my friends is polyamorous, and she's married. She has a boyfriend. She has a girlfriend, and her girlfriend lives in another state, but like comes to see her fairly often. And I think her boyfriend and her husband, she lives with them. And everyone gets along. Obviously, there's quarrels and stuff, like they fight, but they all get along past that, you know? And it's not necessarily like they all sleep together. Like, they just, like, how to describe?
Well, like any relationship, a polyamorous relationship isn't all about sex. I mean, sex can be part of it, but if all you need is somebody I need somebody that I can talk to. I need somebody that I can just kind of hang with. I need somebody that's willing to watch this type of show with me because this other person won't. It's somebody that you can have a connection with that's physical, mental, spiritual, whatever.
Exactly.
Yep. Exactly.
Well, that was a bit of a rant.
Hey, it works.
Every situation is
time
different, but you know, it's as long as everyone feels comfortable, heard, understood, and doesn't feel like jealous or left out, then I don't know.
Yeah.
It should be fine as long as everyone's communicating. Communication is key.
There you
Yep.
go. Communication. Somebody's going to get tired of hearing me say that word.
Oh yeah, I'm sure that we already have fans that are like, "Oh my God, here they go again with this damn communication."
Goddamn communication.
But, it's so important. It has to be, brought up again and again.
Yeah, because a lot of people forget how to communicate.
Or forget that they need to. Like, some people bottle emotions up until they, like, explode. You have to tell people how you're feeling. Otherwise, they're going to continue to either disrespect you or hurt you the same way. You know, if you can't say, hey, I don't like this, how are they supposed to fix it? Or, like, you have to be able to tell people that you're uncomfortable.
Exactly.
Yeah, I'm guilty of the whole bottling up emotions thing. It's not healthy for you physically. It's not healthy for your relationships.
I get it. I do the same thing sometimes. It really depends on the situation, but sometimes I'm not comfortable expressing what I feel. So it's like, well, I can't say it to this person, so this person's not the right person for me. Because if I'm not comfortable telling this person what I'm feeling, then, like, if I don't feel like they're going to accept what I have to say or whatever, it's not a good situation to be in. So you need to be comfortable with your partner. You need to communicate with your partner. Or partners, sorry. I don't want to be exclusive.
All right, so it sounds like we've pretty much reached the end of our conversations.
Yep.
Well, it was lovely to get a chance to talk to you.
Likewise.
Very nice.
It was lovely to meet you.
It
And
was lovely to meet you too.
I enjoyed our conversation quite a bit.
So did I. Definitely.
Yeah, it was a good conversation.
Definitely made me laugh.
Yeah, that purring does a thing.
Does a thing? Does it give you tingles and jingles?
Yeah, it does a thing. So
It tickles pickle.
Tingles and jingles.
thank you for listening to this episode. We'll have the usual information in the show notes. I want to give thanks to our financial supporters, Zachary Hale and Larry. Thanks to you, we will be getting better shows soon. Once Courtney's back in the States, we'll be able to get her some good equipment, probably starting with a microphone. And we'll just kind of see where it goes from there. Wanted to let everybody know, Ludiverse now has merchandise, t-shirts, coffee mugs, notebooks, stuff like that. One is the show's logo, and one just says, "Respect my safe word." There will be more coming up as soon as I get ideas of what to put on them, so if you have any ideas, let us know. Until then, keep communicating and stay safe.
Thank you for listening to the Ludiverse podcast. You can send comments and questions to us on Twitter at LudiverseP. If you like the show, please leave us a rating and review on your podcast app of choice.